Do I look educated? I'm keeping my head warm because once it starts freezing, just like with any technology that we've got, once it starts overheating or overcooling, the very machine will stop to function. Well, the very machines are functioning at a slower rate these days because it's filled with knowledge that is no longer relevant for our existence, no longer relevant for our survival. The very institutions that are meant to enhance our problems that human beings face, or we've created, so to speak. The world has not created problems for us. The very planet has given us the opportunity to live a wonderful life. It is our limited understanding through education, the temples and pillars of education, the center of education for the planet's technology and planet's technological advantage that we've taken on in destroying the planet. And all the technologies are meant to have enhanced the planet's well-being and its health and its vibrancy and the blossoming of life. Yet we captured everything and put it in a glass cage, and we studied the environment of that creature or the life, and then we put that life into a test through a test tube by chemically mixing it up with the limited knowledge that we had about that chemical. And then we accelerated the stillness of our existence, the cosmic space, the life. The very stillness, it's what's keeping us alert and alive. And you and I can be able to breathe the air that is left off here. But we continue to foul that synchronism of refreshing and reviving life across the planet, because all of us are trying to go beyond the limits of the sky. And that's what it says through the Aeronautical Society of here. And it's the same in London, England. No matter what you try to do, folks, if you do not understand the nature of life, you're going to destroy it, because the very nature of life is to thrive, to blossom, and not to be limited. The very nature of life is to aspire, to go beyond. The very nature of life is to liberate one's miseries and everything that you impose upon or has been imposed on. Do you know what I mean? So as I said, keeping a flat hat is to keep your head cool. No, your head will not be cool if you're boiling inside of you. The so-called education is meant to bring you somewhat education and knowledge to keep it still so that it doesn't run around. The moment it gets distorted and start moving in all directions, where the hell do you think you're going to be? No matter if you create a dome to keep the lid down under pressure, it's going to lift up, because the very nature of life and forces of nature of life are such that it's only contained and it's only holding its integral significance is only because everything is happening for you. The most vital to life is actually happening. The very life process is happening for you. It is your puny thoughts and imaginations and history of knowledge is what is trying to cause you an unsettled situation for you. So as I step out of the temple grounds of science and technology here at MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology here in Cambridge. My time here was well spent. When I say well spent, I spent my time to exchange and entertain you, or should I say exchange and entertain you to a new possibility. And if you understood what I said, you might just do what is needed in life. You don't have to go beyond the limits of the sky. All you have to do is liberate your knowledge into becoming a new possibility in life whilst you are here as a brief life. Ultimately, what is holding you in symmetry, what is holding you in perfect geometry, is the very planet's rotation, the very planet's absolute geometry is what is holding you and me and that building behind me and the very life that we created around us. So with your studies, with your knowledge of science and technology, you must first of all realize that the knowledge of science and technology should empower you into a new possibility. It should not in any way create a crippling situation for you and for the planet. The students, most of them have invested so much in their education, they're miserable today. Their misery is such they're resorting to alcohols and chemicals and other solutions to be able to get themselves perked up and blossom and being able to smile. Their education, so-called, at least the education of any, should blossom you, make you feel bubbly, make you feel wonderful. Instead, it is doing completely the opposite. Isn't it time that the very education should be renewed and revived to a ways that it works, not just for you, but whatever you've learned, it should work as a tool to enhance the solution rather than creating a problem for you and for the very reason you studied, to make a contribution to this planet and to everyone that could be benefited from it. And that has always been my education, and that's what I will be continuing to do.